This is a solar power bank. It charges your phone from the sun. You've probably seen a friend use one on a backpacking trip, or seen the cool YouTube commercials, or you just wanted a solution to your phone's garbage battery life, and you wanted one, so you came here. So without further ado, let's get into the video. First off, before we talk about these devices, we need to learn some basic information about how solar power works. Solar panels are made of smaller solar cells made up of 2 layers of silicon. When a light particle or photon hits the silicon, it knocks one of the silicon electrons out of place, and the electron flows out the side of the silicon into these conductive wires. This happens to lots of electrons, and that's where the electricity comes from. But there's a catch. When one of these light particles passes through a glass window, it loses most of its radiation frequency, which means it won't be able to knock one of the silicon electrons out of place, which in short words means these solar panels don't work through windows. So enough sciencey stuff, it's time to talk about the main solar charger of this video. There are lots of different solar chargers you can buy. They usually range from around 20,000 to 40,000 milliamp hours, which is around 5 to 10 charges for your average smartphone. A pretty good portion of them have other little features like flashlights or a pocket knife that flips out the side. This one that we're talking about in the video has a flashlight. The one I personally am using is the Solar Power Bank 3.0 from some little Chinese company that I forgot the name of. I'll leave a link in the description. It's the charger we're going to be using for all of our scientific tests today, so I'll give you the specs. It has 42,800 milliamp hours, which is about 11 charges for my iPhone SE. It has a flashlight and this little rubber thing you can flip up to access the ports. It has these 4 little lights on the side to display how full it is. And the company doesn't specify the wattage or the charging speed, but I can tell you that it's fast enough. It has IP67 water resistance, which means you can submerge it under a meter of water for half an hour without worrying about it breaking. It's heat resistant, cold resistant, and rugged because it's not supposed to sit in the regular calm environment of an indoor person's life. So enough talking about this one panel, it's time to start talking about solar speed. These solar phone chargers are pretty slow. It took 39 hours to charge this one from 25% to 100%, which is pretty bad. During the test, it was placed in an outdoor partly cloudy environment, and near the end of the test, it was actually in direct sunlight. If you ever try to charge it through a window, it won't work because glass blocks the light frequency as we talked about earlier. If you like, most of these can also function as regular power banks by charging through a cable. Now it's time to start talking about how to find the right power bank for you. First, you want to think about how much battery capacity in milliamp hours you need. First, Google the battery capacity of your phone in milliamp hours. Then look in the description on the power bank you're thinking about buying, and look at the battery capacity of that too. Take the number of milliamp hours in your phone battery and put it over the milliamp hours in the power bank. And once you do this calculation, you'll get the number of times you would be able to charge your phone off of it in one charge. Next, make sure it has a USB port, and make sure that it has at least a 3.5 star rating on whatever your website you're buying it on. Now, the most important thing about buying one of these is to think about whether you really need one. If you're more of an indoors person who only spends around a couple hours outside every day, then one of these chargers is not for you. But if you are someone who does a lot of hunting, camping, hiking, fishing, then you definitely want to get one of these. For this one right here, I would give it a 7.5 out of 10 star rating. Now it's time for the moment you've all been waiting for. Extreme drop test. We made it to the cliff. It's time for the extreme drop test. 3, 2, 1. Just hiked down to the bottom and no way! It still works. Must be a pretty tough device. Thanks for watching this video all the way to the end. If you enjoyed this video or found it informative, maybe consider leaving a like down below. And if you'd like to see more videos like this in the future, well, maybe subscribe. That's all for today, guys. Peace.